Alright, back with another video here. We got the 02 Grand Marquis, as you can tell. Did some more stuff on this, got some parts in actually you guys didn't know about. Might have mentioned them, but I can't really remember off the top of my head. But other than that, we're getting ready for Listy. So I wanted to get some new parts. We got a couple things we got to finish yet. We got to change the wheels out. Same with the back. I'm trying to get a set of skidder tires for the back, skid loader tires, and put on the rims. I got to put wheel out all thread from the frame all the way up out of the hood, and as you can tell, the hood's off the car. I got another hood I got to put on it because we had to fix the air cleaner. I actually got a new air filter. As you can see there, that's where it got hit before, and right there, which all I did was straighten it back out. It's a derby air filter. I don't really care. It was a cheap Edelbrock one, so I figured why not bend it out and keep using it. But I did find one thing weird about this. It was after the derby, I noticed it was running. It didn't want to idle right for some reason. Almost it seemed like it was sucking air somewhere. It was idling high, and I turned it down. It wasn't running right. And I had the brake booster, but I took the line off. I have it right there capped. Now, when I had the line in here, I don't know if this booster went bad on the inside or what, but every time I left it hooked up here, it wouldn't run right. Well, I ran it like that through the derby, and it was fine and stuff. I don't know if I'm moving, if it just maybe even here it lost the O-rings bad or something. It's just losing suction. So I was trying to figure out to clean the carburetor off with some spray and sprayed some carb cleaner down in it. And I ended up knocking that line off, and I put my thumb over it. When I did that, it actually started idling. It changed the whole tone of the motor, like it quit sucking air. And it went and idled nice, so I ended up just putting the bolt in, and the dang thing, it starts up better, it runs better. So, and I still have good brakes without that over there. So, I mean, it doesn't have the best of brakes, it's only got rear brakes. I always take the front brakes off my my big cars. But, so, I figured, well, let's like that and try it out. I gotta put another thing too, even though you guys stick bolts in these, even if it's a tight fit, put a hose clamp on there. I gotta do that. I had that happen to me one year. I didn't put a hose clamp on, the dang thing popped off and it sucked too much air and it would start, but it was on that 90 Crown Vic. I think we did an aftermath. But that one, like I said, always put hose clamps on that. As you can tell right there, you guys might recognize that. Now it is at a little bit of an angle. I do got to fix the angle, but let's check this out. We got an aftermarket gas pedal from NLRDerbyParts.com. Check them out, guys. I really like their products. It's kind of hard to see, which I'll get a light here in a minute. I'll show you a little more of it. The cables are heavy duty. The pedal is made out of the actual pedal, which is right there. It's kind of hard to see. Is made out of 1/2-inch steel. Next down, it looks like 3/8 or it might be a 1/4 inch. But it comes with all the brackets, everything all assembled. And then there's the cable over there. See where it runs out? And it goes out here. It comes with these. Now this is an Edelbrock carburetor. All I did was they have a little nipple on the end here that your stock, actually right here, your Fords have like a little nipple that sticks out. That goes over it and clips in. It's like a little ball. And all you do is that ball has like a nut on the back of it. You unscrew it, take it completely out, and then you just put a 1/4 inch bolt out through it. I do grade 8. And you tighten it up against and see it has room to move. But it stays solid because it's one of them Heim joints or whatever. And I double nut it here just that way it don't come loose. And like I said here, I noticed there's a little bit of an angle, so I'm going to have to probably get something, unloosen this and try and get it down a little bit more, or bring it down and weld something else onto it. I'm actually going to redo this whole bracket, I think, because this is just from last year, and I just kind of welded a piece onto it and hooked it up. I mean, it works, but the pedal does stick sometimes, so. But let's get a light here. I'll show you the gas pedal, and then we'll go over we actually did get a shifter, and let me tell you, that shifter is amazing. If you guys are ever going to invest in something, invest it in a shifter. I like the push-pull. I mean, yes, push-pull are better than essentially the cable shifters, because after so long, they like to wear out, and they'll get slop in them, and it can actually take your training out. But, I mean, that's after a lot of runs, but here we go. Now, it is a little dirty. I did paint it black. It does come, they don't put nothing on it, but it has 1, 2, and then the third bolt's up under there, and it bolts to the floor. Nice solid steel. So what's nice too is if the floor would ever buckle, you still have a heavy enough piece of steel that it's not going to hold your pedal down like some of them. But it's got a real nice heavy spring, same size cable as the throttle cable, and then it's, I think they're 8 foot or 10 foot, and then it just runs out here. It come with that little bracket there, you can see, and it goes out to there. And then the shifter, we'll go around and show you the shifter. I can't show you underneath, but this shifter, you can order them for different cars, which if you're a derby person, you should be able to know what kind of car you have and stuff like that. But this one was for a turbo 350, a turbo 400, and a turbo 375. Most new guys, turbo 375 is essentially like a 400, but it has a 350 tail shaft that comes out the back. So essentially the internals are like a 400, which is tougher tranny, and you can see it, it's actually a beefier tranny. But now here's how this works. This is in park. This here's your park pin. So you can pull that park pin and you can knock it back out of gear. So right there is reverse, and you heard the pin lock. So you can't go back in the park unless you pull that pin. So now when you want to go drive, which most people, you don't got to hit drive, you hit first gear. So all the way back, there's first gear. Reverse, all the way up is reverse. This is all you do. That's it. There ain't no guessing, no missing gears. And then when you go to put it in park, you pull the pin. Here, I'll show you. Ready? Pull the pin like that, push up, and then it's not all the way in park. So you gotta push it forward till it clicks. Then it doesn't come out of park. They come with all this was all together. Now you do have to cut your own holes, drill your own holes to mount it. So I did 3 half-inch holes, put half-inch bolts down through, and then on the tranny, now you can get them just with that. And then on the tranny side, it normally doesn't come with a bracket, but this one I bought with a bracket, so it come with the underneath bracket, and it had it bolted right up to the pan. You take 2 bolts out, you bolt it up, it fits right in there, and then you have to, they send you a thing that goes on the tranny, the selector, and all you do is put that on. You take your nut off, you put that bracket on, and then you just put the nut back on, tighten it up, and hook the cable up, and you're good to go. And then you have to adjust it, of course. I mean, you can throw it on, it'll work, but I still got to adjust mine. I mean, it works good, but I want to make sure it's fully adjusted, because you don't want to be hitting the wrong gears or something, or go in there, take a hit, and it moves. Always double check, even though you tighten it up. Go over it again. Make sure everything's tight. Like, I can tell you right now, I think these need retightened, which always check them. Check where it goes in at. Even the bolts on the floor. And once you get hit and stuff, and this body starts to bend, it can come loose. So you just want to make sure you have it in there. Even like the battery box too. Always check all your old bolts, because they can come loose. Now we do got to mount the MSD box somewhere. Yeah, but we're probably just gonna mount it there. I'll put a piece of rubber under it, mount it to the floor, or even might even just zip tie it up there out of the way, so it's, you know, wrap it in foam or something. But now I gotta tie these up. Like I said, these I think here I'm just gonna probably keep that down somewhere. Even zip tied here to the battery box once we get the piece back across the top, which is laying right there. But not much has changed. We're not gonna forget the GoPro this year like we did down at Somerset. I'll put that back on. It's got fresh gas in it. I should have got a new fuel pump, which that one's still working good. I can't say nothing, but I ended up pulling a wire out of it, and I shoved it back in and zip tied it, so hopefully it holds. But we will take an extra one with us. Other than that, I mean, I just want to give you guys an update. Like I said, we got to try and find different tires, because these ones here, they ain't getting enough traction. This thing just blows the tire off every time, even in the mud. I mean, I know it's mud, but it goes from like 0 up to 6,000 like that. It's just ridiculous. I mean, maybe I might have to even try the gearing, change the gearing in the rear and go back to like maybe like a 308 or something, because it's got 410s in it now. So I just want to mainly finish it off this year and start fresh next year. I probably doubt we're going to have anything left of it after Listy, unless something stupid happens, which I hope not. But I'm thinking this one, and then there's that old Crown Vic. If another buddy of mine doesn't run it, which I don't know if we're going to have enough time, I might build that one for Somerset, and then I'll have to see what else I can build and get ready for Listy for the fall. So, but I got another good friend of mine coming back I want to run with, so I really don't want to run all my fresh stuff. I'd like to run all the pre-ran stuff, and then when he gets back, we can build together and build fresh cars and start giving you guys some more. What I'd like to do too is I'm going to look in to get another GoPro. I don't know if it's going to happen before the spring, but if not, it'll be by the fall. I'm going to put one facing front and one facing back, but I'm going to keep them both there because I feel I really like that view, and a lot of you guys commented and said you liked how it shows my foot movement, and you can see out the car, you can see in the car, you can see essentially my driving, the way I drive and do stuff, and I really like that angle. I watch derbies a lot. Like the woman says I'm addicted to YouTube, which I like derbies. What can you say? But at least I know I'm not the only one. There's other people out there that watch it all the time. So, but anyways, I forgot what I was saying. You just love that. But other than that, like I said, just want to give you guys an update. And if you guys have any questions on these LSs, let me know. I've been through them a lot, trust me. I have a truck that I tore apart like 9,000 times, and I know that's fuel injected, so I do know the LS pretty good. I did have this one tore down, and down to the bare block, we put new head gaskets on this motor. We put, I think that was it. But what I really want to do with one of these is I want to get it completely rebuilt, bottom end. I don't know if I'd change out the rods and stuff and like that, but maybe freshen everything up. I have 3 of these. I have 2 4.8 liters and a 5.3 liter. And this intake and all the setup will work on them. All LSs are the same, unless you get into, like, I think even this will work on a 6.0. I'm pretty sure it will. They're all the same because I've used intakes off 6.0, so I know this one will work on a 6.0. But not like your 8.1s and stuff, and I don't know if they'll work on a 5.7, if they're the same or not. That's the older gen, like the first gen, which is still a first gen motor, but not sure. But you guys got any questions, let me know. I just wanted to do an update video. We got about, I think we're down to like 60 days or 59 days till Derby. So hopefully we don't blow the tranny out. I still have the stick on there, never broke. Because of course the tranny had to not hold up, it just all at once just revved up. It was done. But other than that, didn't blow radiator, nothing like that. Hoses, all it was over there, the bottom hose got a little pinhole in at Somerset, that was it. Didn't even get hot at Listy, not even up to temp. I might actually, from all the dirt and stuff on it, I might just clean this, pull it out when it gets decent out, and spray it off. But I gotta do some tire changes on this, so we're probably gonna, I'm probably gonna repaint. I'll probably just do my numbers, and we gotta paint the driver's door white. That's the new rule for the 2020. Driver's doors have to be white, and then so it keeps people from hitting your door. But hopefully we can use this rear end of this car a little more rather than the front right away. I know the front end will hold. I didn't do nothing to it besides put the bumper on. It's got a decent beefy bumper on the front, which hasn't bent yet, depending on the corners and the skin's bending, so it's only a matter of time before it bends in the middle. But we will, his frame was a clean frame. It's actually, I think it only had like 40-some thousand miles on it, so see how it holds up. Headers are holding up pretty good. That freaking hood scratched the ever-living heck out of it because of them self-tappers, and it bent all goofy, which you guys remember in the last video I showed you. It's bent pretty bad. But other than that, I do have 2 new fenders, but I can't see replacing these. They're not even that bad. So we're going to let them on. I got to make some wheel clearance. Some of the lips are bent down a little bit, so I'll have to fix that. Other than that, everything's good on it. No, the only other thing we have to do, it needs a rear, the rear seal on a tranny, right where the dry shaft goes in. It's leaking real bad. Dummy me left a pair of vice grips under there, and I think it ripped the seal. I was going, I thought it was a bolt. I thought it was actually one of my floor bolts I put down through for the shifter. And I thought that's what was hitting, so I pulled it back in here and it looked underneath, and it was that. So when I pulled out the second time, it left a trail of fluid. So, but other than that, we're going to change oil, make sure it's full of coolant. Maybe check the welds on the, always make sure you guys check your motor mounts. Make sure you weld them down solid, because you lose one of them, that's when stuff starts getting broke bad. But just remember, just check over everything, you know. But if you want here, I'll start it up just quick to see how she starts today, and we'll go from there. And then that'll probably be it for this video. Have to sit you down for a minute.